20. Hi, Miss Dorie.
Hi, Miss Cassie.
Welcome to episode 3.
Episode 3, craziness.
Can
We're
you
just,
believe it?
no, we're all crafty weird. That's all it is.
I don't mind being weird with you.
Me either. I don't mind being weird. All right, so it's my craft this week. Woohoo! I'm gonna get you. All right, let's get you interested in wreath making. So, today we're gonna make a wreath. We're gonna make a floofy wreath. You know, I love to say the word floofy. Floop, floop. Okay, so you need mesh. And my favorite ones to do are the dollar store. My favorite ones to do are the dollar store wreaths. But tonight I'm going to be working on a custom order wreath for someone. So I actually have different materials, similar but different. So you need mesh.
I am dollar store.
You're my dollar store girl. That's right. I love my dollar store mesh. I totally do. But they did not have the custom colors I needed for the wreath that was requested. So I had to go outside my comfort zone and shop at Michael's. I know. Woo. Okay, so mesh. Need lots of mesh. And then you need some tooling. Tooling is my favorite trick. Lots and lots of ribbon.
Yes, I got different ribbons.
Yes, you know I love my ribbon. Okay, you need Chanel stems.
Which I had no idea that's not what they were called. I don't.
Pipe cleaners.
Pipe cleaners, that's what they're called.
You can use zip ties too, but zip ties are a little bit more expensive, especially if you get the really good ones from the hardware store.
Yeah, and they're not as pretty.
And they're not as pretty, and you can't tuck them away and hide them as well as you can these. And then for mine, I've also got some burlap, and in the middle of mine will be a sign with the couple's name, and then it'll say established in their wedding anniversary year.
Very cute.
You can also use floral wire if you don't have pipe cleaners. And then, of course, our handy dandy Gorilla Glue Gun.
Yes.
Love that. And then
but
you just got the mini. That's right. And I got the big boy. Okay, and then you need some greenery, flowers, or ornaments, or some kind of accent that we're going to glue on. And so for this one, look at these cool feathers.
Those are fun.
Are they not super fun? And then I have some eucalyptus to go with it. And of course, because their theme is buffalo plaid, I have some red buffalo plaid. But tonight we are going to work on the flute part of the wreath. The flute part. This is part 1. So this is probably not going to be only an hour because it's a big deal. So, all right.
And I'm doing a St. Patty's Day one. So I have some green, and then I have some white. These are going to be for my bow. And then I am a slacker. This is what I have gold for my next layer, but because I'm a slowpoke and Dorie only got me recently addicted, I'm not as fast as she is, so I probably won't get to this piece. I prefer the, what is it, that wire stuff that you get for the next layer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I like that stuff because I feel like it makes it hold its floof better.
Hold its floof. Look at you. And that's my girl.
I got some coins and some clovers. They're sparkly, so those will be for my little extras. And then
Nice.
I was at the dollar store and I saw this fun little headband, but I want to use these.
Ooh, those are so cute. I love putting those on the fun
Yeah.
wreaths like
And
Easter.
yeah, so I got that so I can have, instead of having to buy all these colors separately when I'm probably only going to be making one, I was like, this is perfect for one wreath. So, and then I got my Chanel stems.
Your Chanel stems. Now, do
So
you have the
fancy.
most important part that I've been playing with the whole time? Yes. Okay. So,
Got
what size do you have? 12, 14?
it. I just threw away the thing. It is an 18.
Oh, you have an 18. Awesome.
Yeah.
I have an 18 as well. I thought um oh, okay, never mind, my bad. I thought we were making little ones or you were making a little one and I was making a big one, but I didn't remember. So, I will go ahead and edit this part out. All right. Funny story. Okay. So, first things first, you take your fancy dancy pipe cleaners and you cut them. So
Gotta pick out
I'm,
ones.
yeah, I'm pretty good at this. So I can cut mine in thirds, but I suggest if you're just starting to make wreaths to cut it in half. But I already go ahead and just cut mine in thirds because I'm so used to it now. But you
Yes.
definitely do not use just one whole stem for each twist and turn.
And you taught me to cut them in thirds, so that's kind of how I kind of know how to do it. So,
Right on. So that's how you start.
yep.
Started you off right.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the computer down a little bit so everybody can see what I'm doing. Don't forget, you can watch what we're doing on YouTube and not just listen to us be silly.
Yes.
All right, Miss Cass.
All right,
So
Miss Dorie.
take your mesh.
Got
And
it.
okay, this is how I remember it. You know how some people place the toilet paper roll with the paper going down, and
Yep.
some people put it with the paper going under.
Yep.
So in my house, the toilet paper roll goes with the paper down. So you just pull it straight down.
Right.
So we want to do the opposite. We want to do it the wrong way, the way I yell at the boys if they put the toilet paper roll on the toilet paper thing. So you want to have it underneath. So your roll is on top and
Okay.
your loose end is underneath. Okay.
Got it.
All right. So check your ends, make sure they're not too frayed.
Nope.
And then you want to squish them together. Squish them together. Squish and squish them together.
Got it.
All right. And so then you take one of your Chanel stems, your fancy. Makes you want to go to Tiffany's, doesn't it, man?
Yes.
Like, I want to do breakfast at Tiffany's. All right. And then you wiggle it, woohoo, through the squish that you just made.
Okay.
And then starting on the outer rim, because on these some have three, they have three rims or three rounds, and some have two,
Mine
some
has
have four.
Yep.
And mine has four because it's going to be a name place wreath, so I had to have the extra one so I can hang the name place from it.
Okay.
All right. So then find your first where you're going to start. You want to start on a stem, on a pole.
Mm-hmm.
Take your pipe cleaner with your mesh and you want to secure it by twisting your pipe cleaner. Twist, twist, twist. And it always looks terrible when you first start. It always looks terrible when you first start. And twist that one super good or super well, and then bend it around the stem so it is very secure. Wrap it tight. And that is your first securement.
Yep, got it.
All right. Then you want to decide how big you want your floofs. I like my floofs to be big, so I do approximately 6 inches, 6 to 8 inches per floof.
Okay.
So I look at it and I think, oh, that's 6 to 8 inches. And then I take my hand and I squish where I think it's 6 to 8 inches.
Okay.
And I put a pipe cleaner through it. Or you can put it directly onto the wire wreath. And then you just secure it with the pipe cleaner again. Let me see if I can change my angle there.
Just to the
And
outside.
Just to the outside rim, you just want to secure that floof where you squished. So 6 to 8 inches, pinch it together, and then tie it to the outside with your pipe cleaner. And you should have one floof.
Got
And it
one
doesn't look like much, does it?
No, not yet.
No. So just push it down and do another one. So we're going to do like 6 to 8 inches. Do your little squish together. Put it on the wire. Wrap your pipe cleaner around it and twist it. Twist it tight. You want to make sure it's nice and tight. And then you also want to make sure that after you have done your little twisty, that you take that loose end of pipe cleaner and wrap it around so it's not going to poke you or poke anything else.
Yeah. Or scratch their door when they hang it on their door.
Or scratch their door when it hangs on their door, yes. So then you should have 2 floofs.
I got 2 floofs?
You got 2 floofs. All right, let's do another 6 inches. Squish.
Squish.
Add the pipe cleaner. Twisty, 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 twisty. It's almost like a song, like a kid's song. We've had some really interesting kids' music playing lately, I tell ya. I'm not sure if the PE teacher at my son's school has run out of ideas, but lately they have had some pretty strange virtual workouts.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, some very strange music. So, all right, we're 3 floofs in.
3 floofs in.
3 floofs in, 6 inches. Going for the 4th floof. I don't know why I call these floofs. I really don't. I think maybe it's because I was making them at Christmas and I was watching Cindy Lou Who.
Oh, yeah.
And, Grinch and all that. And, yeah.
Yeah, you were a Christmas wreathaholic.
I was. I think I made 12 or 13 of them. So lots of Christmas wreaths this year. All right, so it looks like for my wreath, I'm going to have 5 floofs per row.
Okay.
So, and what I mean by row is in between the posts.
Between each security thingy.
Yes. All right, so floof, floof, floof. That's another one right there. And then more twisty, twisty, twisty. I know it's kind of like, ooh, all I'm doing is floofing and twisting. And it doesn't look like much, and they look a little flat right now, but don't worry, because we will make them super, super fluffy and super happy when we're done. All right, so now continue around your wreath with your floofs.
Keep floofing.
Keep floofing until you are totally and completely around. And then we'll move on to the next step. So
Hopefully. I'm a slow wreath maker.
hopefully you will get it. You will get it. It's just because I've made so many now.
It's like you could do it in your sleep.
I can, yeah, I think I can. I think I really can do it in my sleep now at this point. I just so many, and I was really impressed because I had that craft show that I was going to do, my
I
first craft
know.
show, and it was canceled due to COVID. So I had all those wreaths and all those Christmas centerpieces, and
You were
no place
so
to sell
upset
them.
too. I
I
remember.
tried so much.
I remember.
I had worked so hard. I worked on Christmas stuff for an entire month to go, and that was my first craft show ever, and it got canceled. So I was not a happy camper. And then I was like, what am I gonna do with all these wreaths?
Mm-hmm.
All this Christmas stuff. My husband's like, I don't think we have enough doors for all this. And he was right. We did not have enough doors. And so Facebook Marketplace actually became my savior. I posted two on Facebook Marketplace, and I posted one on my Etsy shop. And a lady came to pick up her wreath from Facebook Marketplace, and she asked me if I had any others still available, and I told her yes, and took them all out, and she bought every single one.
That is amazing.
So I was like, wow, yay, 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 yay.
Yeah,
So
you were so excited.
I was super excited. And, that's really true. If God or the universe, closes a door, there's always another opportunity, a window opening for you. So
Yep.
very, very happy.
I'm just trimming these. I cut them a bit too long.
You did. And it's difficult to do when you cut them long, for me anyway. Other people, I've noticed, if they don't have finger dexterity or they have issues with small
Yeah.
movements, it's better for them to have them longer. But I like mine small because it's less trimming for me to do at the end
Yes.
of the project. So
One, two, three, four.
are you counting your floofs?
Yep, I lost count since I stopped to cut those, so I had to make sure I made them enough.
What I like about the mesh wreaths the most is that they are so resilient. They bounce back so fast. You
Mm-hmm.
you can reposition them and they will not become flat and just gross. So I've mailed a few. I mailed one to Texas, mailed two to Texas actually, mailed one to another area of Southern California, and they all arrived in very good condition and they were able to be refloofed with no issue.
That's
So that was nice.
awesome.
Which makes it they're viable, they last a long time, and they're pretty, and so
Gorgeous.
I just
I love them.
love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Yes, you showed me one that you made for a gift, and the first couple that you showed, I was like, yeah, those are pretty, but I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to get into that. That's not a craft that I want to get into. And then you showed me the one that you made as a gift, and I was like, okay, Dorie, no, you have to show me this. You have to show me this. I need one of those wreaths. And I got hooked. They are
Yes.
I went from having zero wreath making supplies to going to the dollar store like every other day And then after the holidays, going to Hobby Lobby, and now I am stocked up on holiday wreath making supplies.
Well, just wait until I get you to start making the everyday wreaths that go on people's doors and on their walls all
Yeah,
year round.
see,
Yeah.
you, everything you show me, I'm like, yes! But my budget is like, no!
It's the same way. It's the same way for me. Like when we wanted to buy the beads, remember? And I was like,
Yes,
I don't know, I can't spend $100 on beads, man.
I remember. Yeah, and I was the same way. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to try beads so bad. It definitely made it a little more affordable doing it with somebody.
Exactly. So I don't know if we are good for each other's pocketbooks or if we're bad for each other's pocketbooks because like I'd never done keychains until you suggested it. And you're like, "Oh, look at these blanks." And I was like, "What are
Yeah.
blanks?" And then the next thing you know, I now sell keychains on my Etsy shop.
Yep. Those, I do really love doing the blanks. They are a lot of fun.
They are super fun. And then let's see, what else have you gotten me into? Oh, yes. Let me see. T-shirt making.
Yeah, that one,
It,
that's my bad. You saw my
yeah,
TikTok with the hot pads, and
right.
you're like,
And
tell me this sorcery. What is this? And how have you not told me about it before?
I felt a little betrayed that you had not shared the magic of heat press with me. I felt a little betrayed by that. So yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
what
but
is
you got
this?
it now.
And now I have a heat press and HTV. Thank you so very much.
It is definitely versatile because HTV is what I used on our last episode for my sign.
Uh, I feel like we definitely have to redo signs. My signs were a disaster.
Yeah, mine were not so great either. Um, After we got off, I realized that the reason my staples weren't going in was because they were too long and they were going all the way through.
Oh my goodness.
So it ruined the actual frame, which I don't think, I mean, us crafters, like, we try and fix everything, but I feel like this is not something that I can fix.
So that's definitely a redo then. We are definitely going to have to redo our
Definitely a
sign
redo.
podcast. Yes, I agree. I agree.
Yes. Okay, Miss Dorie. So, for people who are using dollar store mesh, they are
Yes.
going to come to the end before they get all the way around, which I now have. I think I
Yes.
have enough to do one more floof.
All right.
So, how do you recommend, like, once somebody this like happens, what do you recommend? What's the best way to keep going?
Okay, the best way to keep going is to put the two ends of
Mm-hmm.
your mesh together. And then you know how you squish them together, like I show
Yeah.
you in the beginning?
Uh-huh.
Then you put your pipe cleaner
Through
through
both?
both. Yes. And secure both to your wire frame and then start floofing.
Okay.
So it's kind of like you're starting fresh. But for it to for it to not unravel,
Yeah,
it's better to lock the new with the old.
that makes a lot of sense, yes. All right, what's another craft? Like, let's see. You got me into molds. Like, I had kind of started molds, but I wasn't like super into molds until you were like, oh my gosh, look at this and look at this. And now, I mean, my mold collection is not near as big as your mold collection, but I feel
Right.
like it has the possibility of getting that far.
So I have a funny story about mold collection. Um, really, today I had a client ask me for a specific bookmark, and I said that I did not have that mold yet, and could she send me a picture of it, and I would procure it. And she was like, "Oh no, don't go out of your way to buy a mold for me." And I said, "Well, I'm kind of known as the mold queen, so I
So don't even
literally
worry,
have."
I would get it eventually.
Right, right. It's like I kind of have over 400 molds now as it is. So if there's something
400?
you, yeah, about 400. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Dory.
What? Don't tell my husband. Oh, wait, he listens to our podcast. Oh, goodness. Well, you will see for yourself when you come to visit for your birthday.
Yes, I am so super duper excited for that.
I'm excited because then we actually get to do a podcast where we're crafting together.
Yes, maybe we could do our podcast on all of your molds and how we mold.
That would be kind of cool because I saved a gallon of epoxy just for you.
Heck
And
yes.
yeah, and I've got some mica powders that someone sent me to try out. So we could
Ooh.
just play mold crazy.
Heck yeah.
Although I'm
That's
not sure how it's going to sound on the podcast with us in our Darth Vader respirators, but
oh, this is
um,
true because
it
safety
would be
is
fun.
it's worth a try.
It is always worth a try. So I am about 2/3 of the way through on my first round.
I am about halfway.
All right.
But you can move on to the next step because I want to be able to fit as much for everybody into this one so that way we can kind of move on with the next one.
Right. Okay. Well, I will do that. I will do the next step and then I will move on.
Especially because I'm not so sure about my next step.
Which
I
part?
don't know if I'm feeling the gold that I have or if it's enough for my whole thing.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I hear you. I hear you. Sometimes when you're making a wreath and you have all of these lovely things picked out, you find that you don't quite care for the color combinations that you've chosen.
Yep.
That does happen. That does happen. So it's best to put one or two floofs next to each other and see if you like it. And if you don't like it, then you only have two floofs to take off instead of a whole row.
That's a good idea.
All right, look at how floppy that is. I know that gets discouraging. You're like, all this work and it's so floppy, but please
So
remember
floppy.
we are only on the first round. We have 3 rounds of mesh to go, and then
Yeah.
before we get into the next round of mesh, we are actually going to secure the outer mesh so that it is not so floppy and
Yes,
floopy.
I love your little hack for making these wreaths more floofy.
More floofy. It's got to be super floofy, super floofy. And then, the mesh likes to stick to everything. So you
Yes.
just have to be quick. You have to be quick. You have to say, no, mesh, don't stick to me.
Yes.
You're
Mesh,
like,
I
I'm
remember
not
my
sure.
first one. I was like, Dory, what have you gotten me into? But then I finished it and it was beautiful.
That's true.
And
That was the red and white one you made for your mom, right?
yep, Yep.
That was the first one you made, and then you were hooked. Then it was the blue and white one, then it was another Christmas one.
Yep. I remember I told you I was making it for my mom because she would have to say she loved it even if it was awful.
That is true. That is absolutely true. See, your mom's not a scientist. My mom's a scientist. So my mom would be like, well, I think you tried very hard, but your aesthetic is unpleasing. No, my
Yeah, no,
mom would
my
say,
mom my mom would be like, "Oh my gosh, I love it."
no, my mom too. My mom too. I just like to tease her. 'Cause
And my mom,
sometimes,
she did actually love it. She's like, "I'm not a huge Red fan, but I love it." I was like, "Oh, thanks, Mom."
thanks,
That's
mom.
It's beautiful. She hung it up. She hung it up in her bedroom because it was so pretty. She wanted to see it all the time.
Oh, now see, that's a good mom right there. That's what moms do.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I keep losing count of my floofs.
Don't lose count of your floofs. Don't stop believing. Hold on to your feet. I know, I'm sorry. I just love wreath making. It is one of my absolute favorites.
Yeah, it's turned into one of my favorites too, just because even though it is probably one of the most time-consuming ones,
It is.
the outcome is phenomenal.
It truly is. Very, very phenomenal. I absolutely love it. And you have to just sit back and think about how much work went into making something so gorgeous that is going to last for years and years and years. And just
Mhm.
be pride, just have pride and be super happy about it.
Absolutely. The blue one is still hanging. I never sold that blue one, so it's still hanging up on my wall right here.
Oh, really? Well, we'll have to get that one sold.
I know. That one
It's
was the
funny.
one where we did all the ribbons as the little like extras. So,
Oh, right. Yes, yes. I remember when we did that online wreath class to learn
yes.
those different techniques. Yeah.
Yep.
That was a lot of cutting.
That was a lot of cutting.
That was a lot of cutting.
There's
Yes.
definitely a lot more cutting than what you have to do with yours.
Well, you know me, I'm kind of bougie. I just like fluffy everything.
Fluffy everything.
Fluffy everything, rhinestone everything, super fluff.
Rhinestone at Dorie is like the rhinestone queen. She's like,
No,
"Did
I'm
you
not that
put
bad.
Dorie, how many
I'm not
things
that
have you
bad.
tried to put rhinestones on?"
I'm
And
not
I'm
that
like,
bad.
"Dorie, not everything needs rhinestones."
Everything needs rhinestones.
No.
There's two kinds of people in this world, rhinestone people and not rhinestone people.
Well, I must not be a rhinestone people. I have rhinestones. I haven't used them yet, which maybe that's why
Yeah.
I'm not a rhinestone people.
Right?
But
You just haven't gotten addicted to it yet. So here I am at the end of my mesh roll, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to squoosh, put a pipe cleaner through the end of it, and secure it firmly to the outer wire rim. And then that will finish off my outside circle.
I only have 2 more sections, so I'm almost there, but you keep going.
And then I am one floof short,
Uh-oh.
actually. I am one floof short, but that is okay. I can fix it and make it work because that is where I'm going to put my bow.
Well, there you
All right.
go.
So here we are. We're super floofy. If you're looking at the camera, you can see how super floofy it is.
Super
But it
floofy
is
and super
also
floppy.
and super floppy. So super, super floppy. So our next layer, my next layer for this one is going to be the white and red check. So I am going to use white tooling that has glitter on it. And this one is actually from the Dollar Tree. And this is my hack for making the outside rim floof up and stand up
And stay, yes.
and stay. So you take your tooling and you kind of open it. I probably should have opened this before we started recording. We didn't have all that yucky noise there. All right. So you take your tooling and just like your mesh, you want to do the swoosh and put it together and take a pipe cleaner, poke it through, and then secure it to the outer rim. Now you do not want this to unravel very much.
No,
So
no, you do not.
don't start unraveling it. Leave it pretty much contained. This usually takes one entire roll of tooling. So make sure that is very firmly secured to the outer wire rim. All right. So I'm going to turn my thing here a little bit so you can see what I'm doing at the camera. So this will stick very much to your mesh. So that is why you do not want to unravel it very much. You're going to roll it back down a little bit. What you want to do is you want to take your floof, put your hand all the way through it, okay? And then you want to take your tooling and just run it through very quickly and try not to get it caught. It will get caught.
Quickly
that happens.
is the key.
Quickly is the key. And look, the first one I do and what happens, it gets caught. So mesh is mesh. It is just what it is. So pull it. It'll come right out. Trim it with scissors if you have to, but get it out. Okay. Then floof up your floof. Pull it out again. And you should have the mesh through your first loop. All right. Pull that back down. So then I went from front to back with the first loop. So the next loop, I'm going to go back to front. So I open it up and I squish it through as quickly as I can.
So you're kind of just weaving it through your loops.
I'm just weaving it through my loops. And then when I get done completely, I will go back and start floofing everything up. And then, so you just go front to back to front to back to front, until you're all the way around. And you don't want too much in each one. You just want just a little bit, just enough. Just a little bit.
I think I remember on my very first one, I was like, Dorie, I'm halfway done and my tool is gone. What do I do? She's like, oh, you just wanted extra floofy. That's okay.
You sure did. You just wanted it to be super, super floofy. And then you just go all the way around with your tooling through your mesh. Front to back to front to back to front. And you try to get it in there with as little catching as possible. But catching does happen, but we are going to, it will happen, but we are going to floof it up even more at the end before we start putting pretties on it.
Yes. Putting the pretties on it is my favorite part.
Yes, that is totally your favorite part. You're like, oh, I love it.
That's when I fell in love with my first one, is when I was actually putting on the ornaments and the little flower thingies, and that's when I fell in love.
That's when it all comes together, after you've like made it all fluffy and everything is pretty, then you start putting on the ornaments, and then the last thing is the bow, and you are just
Oh, yes.
so excited. Boy, I am just having a rough time with this today. It usually goes a lot faster for me, but it's probably because we're filming.
Probably.
Probably.
Always.
You know, because that's what happens. And because now it's like my wreath is starting to look like a hot mess. But as we know,
This is also a different kind of, you haven't used that kind of mesh before, have you?
I have, but not to this, not this big. I've done it on centerpieces, like table centerpieces.
Oh.
This is a pretty large wreath, so. And it's like pretty sticky. It's more sticky than the dollar store mesh.
Is it?
It is. It is. It is. It really is. So I'm going to take a moment and floof some stuff out because it's starting to bother me that it's all stuck together like this. There we go. Alrighty. Whew. I was getting a little nervous there.
Did you get it?
I did get it. And then if your mesh does get too stuck together, it's very simple to just snip a few ends and keep it nice and open. There we go. See, that's better. And then if I can like show the camera a little bit, you can see now it is firm. It's not as floopy and
Not as
floppy.
floppy.
Right. So, and then we just keep going. Just keep going. Or as my Disney character would say, just keep swimming.
Mm-hmm.
Keep swimming, just keep swimming. All right. It would probably also help if I wasn't trying to do this over myself towards the camera.
Oh. You got this, Miss Dorie. Don't
It's
let
going.
that.
It's going. It's going well. Although it's funny because I feel like I'm hiding behind petticoats. So like all you see on the camera right now is petticoats.
Red floof.
Red floof.
I just got a couple more and then I will go on to the next step as well.
Right on. That's my girl.
I have the white tulle as well for the inside. I think wreath making is also, for some reason, I really like the crafts that are like the most time consuming. I feel like it is just more relaxing when it's something that just takes a little effort. You can just sit here, make some floofs, tie some pipe cleaners, and just kind of just relax and have fun. I think that's why I like some of the more complicated cup techniques where you have to like use the Mod Podge and all the little designs. And then also like when I was telling you about the rolled flowers, that's a lot of just sitting, and I find it a lot more relaxing than something that would take like 2.5 seconds.
No, I feel you. I really understand. I I like the wreath making because it's not meticulous, but it's just very patterned, you know, like repetitive, and it's calming repetitive motion. And it just
Yes.
feels nice,
Yes.
you know? It's just super, super, super nice. I just love that calming, smooth motion.
Yep.
So I ran out of tulle.
Uh-oh.
before the end, I guess I got a little carried away with my floofs, more carried away than I thought. I do have more tooling, but I don't have it right next to me. So I'm going to go ahead and start on my next layer.
Okay.
And where are my scissors? My scissors are hiding. My scissors, they're hiding. There we go. So it's the same exact thing. You just take your ends, press them together. I have a little trifold. Put your pipe cleaner through and start on a post and just twirly twirly. The only difference here is that you're working on the second wire instead of the first.
Oh, yes, the second. I think that's
Same
kind of
same
when
spot.
the first wreath, where it kind of just started coming together when you add that extra layer of pretty, and
When you
it
add the
just
next
kind of
layer.
started
Yeah.
bringing it all together. All right. I finally got done. I am at the end, and now I get to go onto the mesh.
Good luck, my friend. Go easy on the tooling.
Okay.
You got this, Cass. You got it. You can
I
do it.
got it.
Mine is so sparkly. It is just like twinkling at me. I wish you could see it right now, but it is super twinkling.
Is it?
It is. It is just twinkle, twinkle, twinkle at me. Like, what is going on here? Why are you so pretty?
You got the good stuff this time.
That was my tooling that's all twinkly.
Oh.
But I actually, if I had a choice, I really wish the dollar store would have had the buffalo plaid and the black
Yeah.
because this is a little different. It's not my favorite. It does work better for the when you cut and do the little twirly cues. It does work better for that.
Oh, because it holds better for those.
It holds better for those, but it does not floof and make as fancy happy floofs as I like as the Dollar Tree mesh does. But this one is going to be so cute. I don't know if you can see the red and white check already inside. Can you see?
Oh, yes. Very cute.
It's going to be so adorable with their name plaque. The name plaque is black, and so I'm going to put the letters on it in white with a gold. Well, the white will be the outline, and the gold will be the thin part.
That sounds
So
so cute, Dorie.
that everything kind of comes together with their whole theme. And it's lovely. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited. This is a wonderful young couple. They're married and they have their first baby on the way.
Aww.
And they live on a ranch. And she was, just super excited to have matching kitchen and dining room things. And she wanted them all personalized and handmade. She didn't want to go to the big store. She wanted to go someplace, where she knew someone would put some love and attention into her products and help her make her home happy. And so that's what I'm
That is
doing.
so awesome. I think that's probably my most favorite. I think I talked about this a little bit on our last one, but I think that's the thing that I love most about making crafts is just like being part of somebody's home. I did mention it, I think, because of the ornaments. You know, we do the personalized ornaments. So
Right.
when I make an ornament with somebody's name on it, and then that's their new tradition every year to take that ornament out and put it on the Christmas tree, it's just so humbling knowing that someone has something of yours that is now their family tradition.
Yes, absolutely.
And then just think, whenever they have their wreath on the door, they're going to think of you, and that's just, it makes my heart happy.
It
And
makes
it's
my
a
heart
big
happy
reason,
too.
a big reason that I started crafting was just for the therapy and the happy and the not necessarily to get big, rich, and famous on something, but just to have my stuff that it makes somebody else happy. It's
I
just fun.
fully agree. I just love making things, and I love the fact that someone thinks that what I make is pretty.
Yes, pretty enough to buy.
Pretty enough to buy. Yeah. And
Especially being like homemade crafts, like it obviously takes, we're not a machine. It takes us time to design and um, make it, and we can't just like put it into a computer and then pump out 100 of them in 10 seconds.
right, right. And I think the other thing that my customer was telling me, my client, was that she wanted stuff that was filled with love,
Oh
and
yeah,
that was one of a
absolutely.
kind. And that was one of a kind stuff that, no one else would be able to get, because I'm kind of a one-off artist. Um,
Hmm.
people people tell me what they want. They tell me their colors and their specifications. And then I ask them questions about their home and their personalities and, their family a little bit. And I get to know them, and then I make their craft, whatever it is that they've asked me to make. So I
Hmm.
don't I don't ever duplicate anything, because people are different, and each
Absolutely.
family is different.
Yep.
So even if someone asked me to make this same wreath, it would not be the same.
It would not be the same, no.
It would not be the same, because
It's
this
kind
one
of
is
hard
specific.
to replicate like handmade items exactly the same. They always have their own little quirks or differences. So it's nice to have something that's a one of a kind. I mean, we can definitely try to get it close, but there's no
Right,
way that it's going to be exactly the same.
right. It's never close. Never. I mean, it's close, but it's never the same. Sorry, that's
Yeah.
what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so excited for you and your business.
Oh goodness. I don't want a big business.
I know you
I like
don't.
I like my little small business. I like just, people finding me when they need me. That's what I like.
Yeah. This is definitely one of the most. We've been talking for a little while. I mean, we've known each other a little over, what, almost 2 years? A little
Yep,
over a year?
little over 2 years. Yep.
Um, and I know that getting big is neither one of our big like aspirations of being a crafter. But this is probably like the funnest to watch you, like, because we craft outside of this and we have fun, and it's been so nice to just watch you care about how your items are turning out, and it's very inspiring, the story.
Oh, Cass, thanks. You mean you can actually put up with my temper tantrums when things don't go right?
Yes.
Like, I am determined that those pizza pan dollar store signs are not going to defeat me. And what Facebook group did we find that in anyway? Because I'm going to go back there and tell them that that was not easy, like they said. They fibbed. They totally fibbed. That was not easy. And like I have been seriously trying to redevelop the whole thing. I bought 2 new pans. I repainted them. I sealed them with the clear spray paint, and then I sealed them with Plasti Dip, and then I sealed them with the polyacrylic. And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna epoxy them, and then I'm gonna put my decals on them because those things are not defeating me.
No, they absolutely will not.
like like how did a dollar store pizza pan defeat my crafting ability? Feel like I need to have a revenge of the pie pan or pizza pan podcast redo.
And I'll have to have a revenge of the staple gun thing.
That is so true. Oh my gosh, I am completely loving the way this is turning out.
Oh my gosh, look how fluffy it is.
Well, it is on a big ranch front door, so.
Oh yes, absolutely. That's got to be big.
It's got to be big, so go big or go home. Plus, they are they are larger than life people, so can't make anything small.
Why would you want a small wreath?
Well, do you remember those cute little Halloween ones I made for the teachers' desks last year?
Oh, yes.
Yes, and so they were able to put their little wreaths up on their desk because they didn't have any kind of decorations because the kids weren't there. So little wreaths are good for that kind of thing, but not like this. No, this needs to be big and ostentatious, and it should just make you want to smile with happiness, like, oh, I am so welcome here.
Well, it's definitely going to. It looks great.
Well, I hate to do this to you, Cass, but our hour's
No
up.
way.
Yes,
our hour's up.
I know, it's been an hour.
How does an hour go so fast with you, Dorie? I will never understand.
No idea. It's so funny because I was trying to lift the computer up over my flutes and it defeated me. I had to stand up.
Did you see? Mine is pretty sparkly too.
Ooh, it is sparkly. I can see it. It's twinkling at me.
I only got halfway with the tulle, so this is definitely going to be a part 2 craft.
This is definitely going to be a part 2 craft. So I will actually probably finish the second round because I still have the black to go. But let's come back and we'll finish them up. So then, everybody can see how we decorate them because you're right.
That's
decorations
the best part.
And the bow are the best part.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
If you're crafting along with us, there is a supply list in our Facebook group. And go ahead and finish up your floofs. And we will, decorate and make bows next time and put the whole thing together. How's that sound?
All together. It sounds great.
Sounds great. Okay. I love you so much, Cass.
I love you too, Miss Dorie. Have a good evening.
You too. I hate to go.
Bye.
Bye.